Hello and welcome back to Beyond the Arches. My name is Erica and today we are kind of doing a girl power takeover. I am joined by our amazing restorative team. I have Dr. Lax, I have Nadia, I have Jessica, so the whole gang is here today. Say hello.
Hello.
We're going to be discussing our patient stories, so kind of the emotional side of full arch, just how they are able to relay it to their personal lives, how incredible it is to physically see our patients in our office. You know, we get the opportunity to see them for the consultation, and then we see them for about a week's time. After that, they're sent home, but we are blessed enough to kind of keep in touch with all of our patients. They text us photos, send us updates. We get to see them once annually, and it's incredible to see just how far they come after actually having the procedure done. So I think
it is a very unique position that we're in, just coming from like a restorative standpoint, because like you said, we're with these patients for 1 week. They're going through such a crazy, huge transformation in such a short like amount of time. Mm-hmm. And so we deal with, you know, a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings. Every patient is different.
Yeah.
So there's, you know, I'm sure you guys have a lot of stories to share, or at
Absolutely.
least a few.
And I think even us too, particularly Dr. Lax and myself and Lilia being the treatment coordinators, we kind of get to see the patients from the get-go. We get to start them off, kickstart them with their consultations. And at that point, that's usually a pretty personal level at, you know, they're deciding if full arch is going to be the right move for them, if they should stick with more of just general dentistry, should they do single implants instead of kind of going all in all the way with full arch. So it's definitely a vulnerable area that they allow us into this opportunity, you know, into this line of sight of their life.
For sure. And it's interesting because you and Lilia, you know, as like the treatment coordinators, you're like the first line, right? You're the first people that, you know, these people are talking to.
Mm-hmm. Us and Alex as well.
And Alex, yeah.
For sure.
And so I'm sure there's like a lot of anxiety, right? There's a lot of questions. And then, yeah, right from like the consultation already, it's just like walking them through the process and being like as, you know, in depth as possible, trying to just explain everything to them. And yeah, it's less of trying to sell a product or sell something. It's more of deciding and helping them like come to a decision, really.
Absolutely.
So yeah, a lot of emotions involved.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think it's kind of that we're initially building that first line of kind of trust.
Like breaking the ice.
Kind of breaking the ice, letting them kind of get to know our team a little bit. Obviously, they don't get to meet the restorative team until they physically come in and have their process done. But I think it's been really special. We get to see them all the way through. So on your guys' end, do you have any particular stories of where you can remember, oh, wow, I'm so excited for this person? Or,
Oh,
you know,
God. Where do we begin?
I know, right? Every week.
So many.
There's probably 1,000 stories.
I mean, you build that
in there.
connection initially when they're in. And I know that there are patients that either their kids are going through school and you're kind of following them through that timeline. And I know patients even ask, Nadia in particular, they ask you, how are your children doing? Because they've been with us for the last 3 years. And they're almost like with you, watching your children go through it and be successful.
My favorite is like when after they have it done, they have it done for like a big occasion, whether it's their wedding, their children's wedding, like some sort of big life-altering
Big event.
altering event.
Yes, absolutely.
A life-changing event.
Absolutely.
Like I love their personal photos that they put on like the Facebook page. They're always like, oh, me at my wedding, or this is like a year out and whatnot.
Yeah. It's super exciting to be able to see.
It's interesting because I feel like a common like comment our patients will make is that like up until they see us, up until they get this done, they've been dealing with just so much stress, right, related to like just problems with their teeth, and they have something big coming up, like their, you know, kid's wedding or their wedding or something in their life, and it's just like a dark cloud like looming over their head, and it's like the only thing that they can think about, and they don't want to constantly have to think about their teeth and things, you know, that are hurting them and, you know, problems. And so it's just nice to see that like the, you know, the relief.
Yeah, they come back and they're like full of confidence and talking about all the things that they're accomplishing now just because they got their teeth done.
Yeah.
Like that was just the start of it.
Yeah.
I can't think of a specific story quite yet, but I just like, I haven't been here too long, but just seeing them from that first pre-op scan that we do when they get there, they're scared, you know, they're real timid. Their impression of a dental office is just
Not us.
not us.
Yeah.
And we come in, we're like, hi, how
Full of
are you?"
energy.
You especially, like, you're so good with that because it'll be the day of surgery. So they're like out in the waiting room, super nervous. And then Jess will come and like bring them back like, hi, I'm Jess. I'm gonna take your photos.
It's one of the scariest days of their life,
Ever.
and here
But
we
you
are
just
with
kind
a
of like-
smile.
Yeah, and then watching them kind of just blossom
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
their new self throughout the week is super cool. Yeah, and my favorite thing is seeing them the day after surgery. I'm like, do you remember me?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember seeing me? And they're like, oh, I don't know.
Sometimes yes, sometimes
Vaguely.
no.
But then
Yeah.
that's that third day, they're just like, hey, did you go do the thing with your kids?
Yeah.
They remember, and you really build that relationship, and that means
Yeah.
something on both ends.
Yeah, people really come out of their shells when
I
they're
love
with
it.
us, because I feel like it's a very vulnerable
for
position to be in,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
We're getting really up close and personal, and I feel like it not only becomes like a dental experience, but it's a more of a personalized experience. Like we're really getting to know these people. And it's nice to know that, like, we're here for them, right?
Yeah.
And whatever it is, we always let them know that. So it's just, it takes a lot of the stress away when we
Yeah.
make it a lot of fun.
It's kind of funny because especially when we have travel package people in, travel package patients in, they even sometimes at the end of the week, they're like, we're going to miss you guys. Like,
Yeah.
now I don't know
I
what else to do.
know.
This
We
is
get attached.
kind of been part of our routine. So it's
Right.
going to be kind of different going home. It's funny.
Yeah, but it is nice to have them back at the 90-day mark and then at the, the maintenance, the cleanings. So, yeah, it's nice. We always keep up with our patients.
Yeah.
Just the other day, we had somebody that first day walking in, super nervous. And then after like the second try-in, really after the first try-in, like they're walking up like with a new strut, like to the front
yeah,
desk.
I
I'm like,
know.
okay, I see you.
Totally new person.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember let me actually ask Dr. Lax this. We got Dr. Lax pretty fresh out of school to join the Done in One team. On your first few cases, what did it feel like kind of going into that? How proud were you of the designs and the work that you created?
It was, yeah.
Any like specific like emotional deliveries? What was the first time like when you saw a patient actually have tears in their eyes when you delivered their case?
I think it was like right away. I think it was probably like day number 2 of, this job when I started. And, coming from school, right, just general, restorative dentistry, we don't see like too many of that type of situation, right? There's emotion involved, but it's not as drastic. It's not as huge. And so it was incredible to see that. And it happened like really quickly. I think it was
I think I
with
remember
you,
that one
right?
because the patient walked out of the room like just overjoyed.
Yeah.
And then you walked out of the room, you're like, oh my God, I think I'm going to cry. I was like, okay, don't do that.
like, where am I? How'd I get here? Like, is this magic?
Yeah.
So it was incredible. I don't remember the patient.
It's very
But-
vague because we have so many. I don't want to sound like big-headed, but
Yeah.
that's the goal every time is to have
Yeah.
everybody feeling like real emotional in a positive way about their
Yeah.
teeth, about their
Right.
smile.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Yeah, it was good. It was incredible.
Jess, do you
But-
have any particular moment that was kind of similar in your world? Since, again, you're one of the newer members of our restorative team and you're absolutely blowing it out of the water. Is there any particular, moment, an emotional moment where you're like, wow, I am so glad to be here in this position today. So glad to be able to help change lives.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's every week. It really is. It's so rewarding. For me personally, I come from a background of dental work that nobody wants to get done.
Endo.
Endo, and
Root canals.
we only get 45 minutes with them, and I get to know somebody for a week. So I remember my first patient where I got to see everything through and sit and really connect with them, and that patient did cry because it was just, they had nothing.
Yeah.
They had nothing. And they're like, I can't wait to bite into a burger. And we bonded over burgers and our love for them. And so that was really special. And, they started crying. I started crying. I said,
I'm sure there was a lot of crying in endo, but not
Yeah,
happy
right,
tears.
not happy
tears.
Maybe more.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's incredible. Sometimes it's a procedure that people are waiting for years and years and years. They're saving up. They're thinking of every option that
Yeah.
they can possibly pull together to go ahead and have this done. And when they're finally able to have that moment for themselves, it's beautiful.
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a pretty monumental change.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So also being part of that, this isn't necessarily always it's really not actually a cosmetic procedure. Obviously cosmetics and aesthetics are part of this for sure. You do get that out of the full arch. But with that being said, it's also just kind of bringing a person back to being a human. Like you mentioned, you guys bonded over burgers.
Something as simple as burgers,
Mhm.
like being able to bite
Mm-hmm.
into something so easy. We don't think about it on a
Right.
regular day basis, but there's people out here who can't
Mm-hmm.
bite into it. It hurts them, or they just don't have the capability to eat something like that.
We've had patients come in who I know were, when they came in for their initial procedure, they were single. When they came back for their annual appointment, they had a boyfriend or a fiance or something along the lines. And to see our patients come back fully confident, living their lives to the fullest, just absolutely flourishing in their, whatever it is, their dating life, their personal life, it's incredible.
Yeah, I feel like getting their teeth done is like the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of other things change in their lives. So it's exciting to see like all of those changes,
There is
improvements.
Absolutely. The other day, Nadia and I actually kind of had the same reaction, a similar reaction to one of our patients who walked in with his wife. And for a moment, I almost thought it was like an elderly person with a walker. And then I realized what it was. And the two of them, they had a baby. I was almost on the floor. I was like, did you guys have a child? This baby was like 2 months old. It was the most beautiful thing ever. It was a little girl.
In the mauve.
That's so sweet.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
It's incredible to
You
see.
could
It's-
tell that was their whole world.
Yeah, that's so sweet. Like, did you guys think, being in the dental field, did you think you were going to be involved in like patients' lives, like to this extent that you're in
No.
now?
No.
Mm-mm.
Like for me, I mean, I only spent a couple minutes with them, so
Right.
you really get to know somebody in that short amount of time.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, we're seeing them just like little bits,
Yeah.
throughout the week that they're with us,
yeah,
but we learn like so much about these people
yeah.
in that
And
time. So,
coming into it,
Incredible.
I did think the biggest thing was aesthetics, cosmetic, but I mean, I'm learning too that it's affecting the way people speak.
yeah.
And that's important for careers and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
social life.
Yeah.
You
I
don't
would
think
s-
about those things.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like 50-50, aesthetic and functional
Yeah.
for sure.
Did you ever have a patient who affected your personal life in a way that you couldn't imagine? Has anyone ever helped you to any sort of degree, whether it be, as simple as financial advice, something along the lines of that?
We can learn a lot about
Any
a lot of
unexpected,
things.
kind of surprises that have come out of anybody so far?
I feel like every day
Yeah.
there's a new piece of information that we learn from one of our patients, whether it's like a random fact or a story
Talking about
aliens
aliens.
or conspiracy theories.
Okay.
I
Or,
won't start that.
well, we see patients, I think, let's see, our oldest patient is probably around 99, maybe, and our youngest, maybe 20s,
20s, yep.
around that. And so we see a range,
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Yeah.
And we're always open to
I feel like
taking
you
advice.
did have somebody like give you some words of wisdom,
Yeah.
and you kept repeating them, and we're just like, it kind of doesn't make any sense. But
Oh, I know. I think it was a golfer.
yeah, it
And
was
Yes.
this like professional golfer,
Yes.
sweetest guy, very, very old, I should say, but looks great. He feels great.
Well
And
seasoned.
he said a less like golf, right, can be applied to life. So he said, don't feel the force, or don't feel
Don't
the force,
force the
force the
something?
feel.
I don't know.
Something like that.
Don't
You
feel
said it
the
didn't make
force.
sense.
Don't feel the force, force the feel. Or don't force the feel,
it's gotta
feel
be the other way
force.
around.
Don't force the feel,
Yeah.
feel the force.
Yes.
Well, we're
Yeah.
gonna put a little.
That
stamp
sounds
on
better.
that
I
one.
remember actually too,
The force.
I
be
just
with
butchered
you.
that, but you
That's
get
okay.
the gist.
we also had a patient who was a what do you call it? A psychic or a
Right.
What is that called?
Medium.
Yeah, a
A
medium.
medium.
No.
Yes.
We had a patient that was a median
Oh.
and
A medium, yeah.
medium. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think she read my.
I think she changed your life. Not
Yeah.
changed it, but
Right, she predicted a few
she
things that
predicted
actually
it.
happened. So,
Explain,
When's she coming
elaborate.
back?
yeah, she said that I think I would move,
Uh-huh.
you know, and I did. So that was a good prediction.
Yeah.
And I think it was just like a general positive.
I think it was
yeah.
I was like, oh, great, I'll take it.
I was with you on that one.
a
Yeah.
positive experience.
Yeah, I don't remember the details.
Currently
but
waiting for the
Yeah.
rest.
It was just
Yes.
really interesting.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tend to overshare with patients sometimes.
Do
We get to
you?
really know each
Yeah.
other. Yeah. And so I do have a patient that kind of helped me out. I went through a pretty major life change a couple years ago. That's kind of trickling into
So
my
this was not with Done in One. This was with
No.
the previous dental
No.
experience that you
at
had.
Done in One.
Oh, at Done in
A
One.
Done in One
Okay.
patient.
Okay.
And she sat up in the chair and she just like recommended books, and it turned out that she was going through the exact same thing in her life. So she helped me like, you know, with mom and that kind of advice, and that was super personal to me. I won't forget it. I never went and got the book, but I do remember the conversation, and I will hold that close to my heart.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So part of our experience here at Done in One is that we do essentially teeth in a week, surgery Monday, finals Friday with a travel package. So this is kind of something people go back and forth about during the consultations as well, because they hear teeth in a day, they hear teeth in 6 months. We do it in about a week. So patients don't want fast, they want meaningful. How do you feel like we actually fulfill this line here at Done in One since we do it in a week?
Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, we take into consideration so many things, like what line of work they're in. We don't always dive deep into that, but we consider it.
Yeah, and I feel like these days, right, something that's fast, it sounds really good, right? But sometimes it's not the case. Sometimes maybe too fast is not, you know, the way to go, right? Again, there's a lot of emotions involved. It's a lot of precision, a lot of details involved in this type of treatment, whether it be the surgical, you know, standpoint or the restorative, whether it be aesthetic or functionability or anything having to do with design. And so it's nice to take that time. You know, I mean, we're talking 1 week, not months and months, but taking that time to really ensure and, you know, make sure that we're committed to everything before we finalize the treatment, right, when it comes to
Just
the
learning
design.
them in that time.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we allow the opportunity for the patients to learn too. It's like it's super educational for
Yeah.
them, and they see why we take that time. Some people, I feel like they're like, wait, I don't just get this one set and you send me on my way. I think that's the one they were looking for. No, 1 week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how have you seen patient emotions kind of reflect back into that 1 week process? I know on my end, we get kind of everything around the world. We get some people who are straightforward. They want to go to finals in 2 days. We get other people who go to finals, call us back, think that they're changing their mind, you know, grab one of my amazing restorative team members and I can put them on the line with the patient, kind of reassure them. How do you know, at what point do you normally see that, or how would you handle a situation like that?
Yeah, I mean, just coming from a restorative standpoint, like we do have the ability to create and fabricate a final set of teeth in, let's say, you know, 24 hours, right? Like right away. But we hold off on doing that because of like what you just brought up, right? It's a very delicate balance. So we don't want to rush into anything, and it's very hard to know how someone is really going to react and, you know, be during the process, you know, when we're actually getting in there and designing their new set of teeth. At least from like a consultation, you know, view, it's hard to tell, you know, how these patients are going to really act during the week that they're with us. And I would say, you know, just in retrospect, looking back, it's always, they always appreciate that, you know, extra couple days, whether it be to, you know, think about the, you know, the shape of the teeth that they want to go with, or, you know, maybe they're feeling a little sore or swollen, you know, the first 3 days. and, you know, they start to feel a little better day number 4. So it just gives them that cushion time.
Yeah,
know,
although
the
it is
pressure
like
is
done
off.
within a week, we're very calculated in our measurements, in our whatever we decide to change in a patient. So we just had a phone call this week. Sweetest patient. Oh God, I love her. But she called and she was like, I don't know about this. They just seem kind of big. I'm like, look, it's new. I'm confident in this design. Give me a chance. Like, let's just try it out first, and then we'll go from there. We're never going to put anybody in something that we're not sure about.
Absolutely. And I think that since we do have the ability to work with them through the week, that is the trust that you guys are building in your operatories.
Yeah, that's huge.
So they're able to fall back on that if they think, you know, sometimes going to the finals, waiting the 2 or 3 business days that it takes the lab to actually fabricate the finals, you know, kind of puts a time worries people, and time kind of causes for open thoughts and your mind to wander. So being able to bring them back to a team that they trust is amazing.
Yeah. And there's probably been like countless times where you guys not only been like, you know, clinicians, but also therapists, hopping on a phone call or sitting with the patient for a good 20 minutes, just talking to them about, you know, how they're feeling that day, or
this
like
is
what's bothering
normal.
them. Yeah. So,
Absolutely. I know that we have one patient in particular that we were discussing before this podcast started, but we got to see her life change in such an amazing way. So many changes. I know she shared some of them with the whole office, some of them privately with Nadia, but she's had the most incredible change. I'll let Nadia kind of discuss it with you, but we saw her back for her annual appointment, and she flourished so much. She was beautiful. She was dressed fabulously.
Absolutely. Every time coming in all dolled up, and I think that's big too. If they keep a positive mindset, it just helps the healing and the design process, because it puts them in a more comfortable, you know, position to an extent.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think that person is like a public speaker, and I don't know if they have a podcast or what it was, but they were just like, I'm doing this. It was just so many things that they were starting to get into. So many life changes. I don't want to go too specific and put
you
people
don't want to give their identity away.
but
It was big things happening in
big
their
things
lives.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, big changes.
Best direction.
So, and it's crazy to see how that happens. It's like a domino effect.
Yeah.
How like just a smile, right, a set of teeth can have such a big effect on
Impact on
people's
people.
lives. Yeah, so it's cool.
They get excited. They get excited to come back
We
and
get
share the
excited for them.
updates.
We get so
We
excited.
want the updates
Today.
We want the tea. We want
Yeah.
we want to know what's exactly going on and what improvements have been made in the last year. It's fun to watch.
It was so funny. We delivered a final today that brought them back. Like, hey, how's it going? How you feeling? Blah, blah, blah. Like, everything was, like, pretty straightforward. And then I guess it just went by so quickly. I don't know. For me, it was like we were just going through the motions and everything was just happening normally. But they got done and they were up at the front and they're just like, wait a minute. Like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm
like a
actually done.
whirlwind.
Like, I got my final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were so
He
excited.
was so sweet.
Yeah, we definitely form connections to a lot of, you know, these people. Yeah, all of them really. So it's very special.
It's cool to hear all these different stories, and it's like, what do they all have in common? What's the one thing? And it's they came and got their teeth done.
Yeah.
And it's just it's teeth. What?
Yeah.
Is there any moments in particular that kind of like surprised you emotionally with these patients coming in? Has anything been particularly funny, sad? You know, sometimes I know we have patients that come in and they wish that they could show their parents, or they wish that they
Yeah.
could show their grandparents this moment. It's almost like a graduation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
I've had a patient whose mother was no longer here, and she says, you know, when I was younger, everybody said my teeth were just like my mother's, and you guys really brought that back. I remember.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was cool. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And outside of that, we still get, I know myself and Lilia, we get texted photographs of some of our patients who are, getting engaged because they're able to go. Yeah, and we share it with the whole team, by the way. But
Those are my favorite.
It's always, I love it when people post like several months after,
Yeah.
you know, they get this done, or several years later, just to give us updates. You know, they'll post on the Facebook group or something.
Yeah. We
it's
love
awesome.
it. I promise you, we share it with the whole team because we're so proud of the work that we've created, or the product that we've created, and all the work that's gone into it with everybody involved. But those are incredible. The photographs that we get sent with patients getting engaged, or patients starting a new career path. I know we had one particular woman who had her zirconia delivered just before her daughter's wedding, and she was so over
That's
the moon.
right.
One.
Yeah. She looked great.
She was so
She
over
felt
the
great.
moon. That was her motivation. She wanted to have a beautiful smile on her daughter's wedding.
Yeah. That was amazing to see.
I love it.
So yeah, we definitely see a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Any other wise words of wisdom from my restorative team?
I guess, well, just to summarize, like the beauty of like our process and like how we get things done, I feel like it just allows us to form all of these connections that we've been talking about, right? Like we can focus less on like the stressful components of, you know, down to the nitty gritty procedural components. And, you know, since we have that down pat, it's just smoother all around for everyone. So it takes a lot of the stress away. And yeah, I feel like we're just lucky to be a part of these people's lives
Yeah.
and to have an impact and just to make a difference.
Yeah.
You know?
I completely agree. Actually, I'll mention something. My last thing that I'll mention on my end is that it's so interesting kind of putting emotions into it as well. I know that we've had conversations before where, you know, everybody's different. Some people are excited to come in the room. Some people are shy to come in the room. Some people are nervous, scared, whatever it may be. So if we haven't quite built that trust yet, it's kind of interesting to just kind of see them open up. But we've mentioned previously kind of not changing personalities, but kind of matching their energy so that you can work a little bit more strategically.
Yeah,
If they're
that's a
over the moon,
huge
you're
aspect.
over the moon.
Yeah.
If they want to
Yeah.
be a little bit more reserved that day, then maybe that's the TLC that they're looking for. And
Yeah.
they rather do things in private. They, you know, maybe they rather go home and then look in the mirror. Or maybe, you know, patients who don't cry tears in the chair. Maybe you don't know what happens the second they open up that car door to go home and show
Yeah.
their family
Oh yeah.
You're right.
who
Yeah.
that first call is that they make, that first FaceTime or their first photo that they take.
Yeah, and I think you guys are really good at doing that, like just picking up on people's like
Oh, yeah.
energy, reading
yeah.
them, and meeting them where you know they're at.
I get the sarcastic patients.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm like, right back at you.
Love it.
I
Yeah.
gotcha. And they eat it up. They love
Yeah.
it.
They do.
But I feel like I don't know. I guess words of wisdom for like future patients is don't be afraid of this process with us. Like you're human and we're human, so we are gonna be able to accommodate each other with however you come. So, and then if you're a past patient, like don't worry about how you were during the process. Like we loved every minute of it. I
Yeah.
promise.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
It takes a team. It's definitely a teamwork effort,
Yeah.
which is crucial. Like we never want anyone to feel like they're on their own in
Yeah.
this. It's always, you know, we're here for you. It's like a network, so
It's a lot of fun.
It is
it
teamwork.
is fun. It's a lot of fun.
It's like if I work with a patient all week, but I don't get to deliver their teeth, and like Nadia's
You're
doing
popping
it.
in.
Yeah.
We'll like we'll pop
Like,
into
just
each
not
other.
yet.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, look at you.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, like you're not forgotten. You're not just.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And remember, a lot of these people have, you know, gone through some type of like traumatic experience,
Yeah.
hate the dentist. You know, I get it every day, right? Like I hate your, you know, you and your
Thanks.
people, like dental, you know, anything dental. People just
Yeah.
don't like.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
I
fear.
haven't heard
and-
that in a while. Like, I
Really?
hate the dental office. I haven't heard that in a while. I just jinxed myself, but
Yeah.
I hear
It's usually
I,
during a consult,
I
maybe.
hear it in consultations.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
I cross my fingers that we don't hear that as often in our office once they do actually get to meet our team. But
It's always before.
it's
like,
usually
yeah.
before, and it's usually due to a past traumatizing experience. So understandably so,
For
if they
sure.
have fear.
Yeah. So it's nice to see that shift in
Yeah.
mindset.
Mhm.
Like, oh, it wasn't the same as what
Yeah.
you know, I went through in the past.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I agree. Well, thank you guys for coming onto our podcast today. I appreciate all of the work that you do. Everybody comes together as a team, from the consultations to the restorative to the surgical team. I think it's incredible. I think we have so much fun being able to have this opportunity to not only share with one another, but share with our patients and see the masterpieces that you guys are able to create and present. So thanks, guys.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Shout out to Erica
Yeah.
for being an amazing host.
Thanks, guys.